Hi there, John Allen here. Uh, Earlier this year, my wife and I purchased a 2017 Chevy Malibu, and we really liked the car. Drove nice, and it was big, and the back seat was a lot bigger than our Chevy Cruze, so we brought it home. No sooner did we get home, my wife reached for a CD to put in the dashboard and asked me where the CD player was. And I started looking around and no CD player. So I looked in the book and read it and looked at the dashboard and realized we got home without a car with a CD player. So um, I spoke with the salesperson, and he explained to me that yep, it's we can plug in an iPod or use our phone to play music in there, or the radio. Of course, it still has a radio. But I asked him about, well, how about a USB drive? And he wasn't sure about that. So I checked it out and looked in the book for the car, and there was indeed some information on the USB, and there was a selection on the computer console about that. So I went and purchased a nice USB with lots and lots of space on it. And all of my music files are on iTunes, so I copied all of the iTunes files onto the USB drive and placed it in the USB slot in the car dashboard. And lo and behold, very few songs appeared on the screen. And so I hit the book once more and found out that only certain formats can play on a USB player in this car, and unfortunately the format that iTunes defaults to will not show up. So I then had to go and find out how to convert these files, hopefully, to the format that I needed, which I decided MP3s would be a good idea. So I have a Windows 10, and in Windows 10 there is an app, and it's not free. It costs $39, and I'm sure I know there's other ones out there that you can probably do the same thing with. But I decided to go ahead and buy this since I didn't have any sort of converter, and I wanted something to do it fast and easy. So this one is called Easy CD Audio Converter, and it can be found in your Microsoft Store. And it installs on the hard drive and gives you an interface that's pretty decent. That allows you to pick your directory for your music files on your hard drive or external drive or wherever you keep your files. And then when you do that, you can drag as many songs or folders into this area right down here. And the nice thing about this is that once you put some files down there, you drag them down and you put them in here. They show up here, however many songs you want, and you can go down and, like, I have lots and lots of songs, so I could stack them up here and they all show up. And then when I get all of this screen filled out, then there's a couple of things I need to do. Number one, I need to tell it where to place the files once they're converted. And so I go in here, and right here I've got a folder called, it's a test folder, so you can see how this thing works. But basically this is where you're aiming for right here. And then all you got to do is go up here and hit the convert button right there. And when that happens, if you have your little USB drive, which is right here, this one it has lots and lots of space, 128 I think, or 256 And so what you do is you find yourself a slot somewhere, and here's one right there. And once that loads in there, and this particular drive is full, so I'm gonna throw it somewhere else. But for this purposes of this little demonstration here, but this was what I would normally do. I would this, I believe, shows up as my F drive, and then I can go and when I did put it in there, there's all of my music files. These are ones I've already done. And that's where it goes on the USB drive, which is my F drive, and this is where they load up. And when they end up over here, they're all MP3 files. And those, once I finish all of these files, I put in my car, USB slot, and I can play music, and it separates it into genre or albums or any number of things, so that I can easily play exactly what I want. It's just now they actually will play. So to show you how this thing works, I'm going to get out of that, and we're going to throw them into this folder right here by simply hitting the convert button, and boom, and it immediately starts. And it tells you your progress. Now you notice there's 4 because you can have multiple converters running simultaneously, and I could pick 8 if I wanted to, or however many, and I guess until I run the machine out of memory. But once it gets done, then it ends up in the folder of your choice, and then you actually have a USB with your songs on it that you can plug into your car. And if your car has the feature, it has to have a USB plug. The 2017 Chevy Malibu has, and I believe my Chevy Cruze also has had the same thing. So this solves the problem, and the nice thing about it is that on CDs you have to pop them in one at a time, whereas this one, they're every song that I have ever ripped, every song I've ever ripped is on this little tiny USB drive, and not just ripped, but downloaded on iTunes, which I have lots and lots. I have way over 1,000 songs on this thing, and plenty of room left for lots more. So anyway, that was my solution to what do you do when you buy a brand new car and you get home only to find out you have no CD player. So I hope this helps somebody out there, and we'll see you next time.